Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Look, the bottom line is, cap and trade has become cap and tax. And the renewal of this program is going to cost our constituents more money. It's going to cost them more at the gas pump, period. It's going to cost them more in electricity rates, period. And it is going to cost them now more also in heating their homes. Natural gas, because you're taking away credits that they need and they have relied on in the past in this new program. So it's going to raise everybody's costs. Don't lie to people. Tell the truth. This bill and what it's part of and the package is part of is going to raise people's costs. So much for affordability. But more so, this cap and tax fund has become a slush fund. That's what it's become. And please don't talk to me about wildfire, because the $200 million that's in this fund is the same $200 million that was first invested back in 2017 when we started this. So after the Camp Fire, and after the North Bay fires, and after the North Complex fire, and after the fires we just had in LA, 200 million is all we need? You still think that? This is underfunding what we need on wildfire. Why are you having to refill up that wildfire fund insurance policy again? Because we had another fire, right? So maybe do some more on addressing the actual issue with fire, which is dead and dying fuels on our public lands. You need to get out there and make our forests healthy. And actually, that is a better climate policy because it reduces carbon emissions. It makes our forests and our public lands into a carbon sink. But you're just making the same investment that you did before we had all the fires. You're not increasing it. But what does get funded? $1 billion for high-speed rail. Now, we can have a debate on whether or not you think that's a good infrastructure project. That's fine. But there is no proof and there's nothing that shows that that investment reduces carbon emissions. But it's getting $1 billion, and wildfire, the biggest cause of all of these cost problems that we're having to refill up that fund, having continual fires that blow up your carbon reductions. All of the reduction that you've gotten on your climate policy has been blown out the back with all the wildfires we've had. You're not making smart investments with that, but it gets worse. $85 million for an entity that's going to look into climate technology. $25 million for a climate research center. I don't know what it does. $15 million for Topanga Park. Man, I want to see parks rebuilt after a fire, believe me. I have a school that needs to be rebuilt in Paradise that didn't get any money in the budget this year. But is that money that should be going as a climate investment that's actually helping reduce the threat of wildfire? It doesn't do it. Guys, your cap and tax fund has become a slush fund. And we're not making the kind of smart investments that you need to make to actually reduce carbon emissions in the long term and stop the risk of fire, of catastrophic wildfire.
30 seconds.
So that's my problem with this. It's going to raise our costs, and it's not making the kind of smart investments. Transit passes gets more money in this than wildfire does. Your priorities are wrong.